and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. This is Tanush, and today we'll be discussing about a very important transit which is going to happen tomorrow, that is on 7th of July. So Mercury would be moving from the sign of Taurus into the sign of Gemini. So Mercury would be moving into its own sign. Now from almost like 1st of May, Mercury has been quite unstable. Also it was in conjunction with Rahu. So Mercury is not so bad when it is a friend of Rahu, because Rahu considers, Mercury its friend. But this Rahu and Mercury conjunction will give rise to many issues, which we'll discuss, sometime in the future. So a lot of instability was there, and especially for some of the signs which we'll be discussing, it was a terrible period, especially for Gemini, because Mercury was 12th from its sign and it was giving a lot of issues. Now Mercury is moving into its own sign of Gemini, and Sun, which is the best friend of Mercury, is already in the sign of Gemini, very comfortable. So Mercury and Sun will conjunct in the sign of Gemini, and for some of the ascendants it is creating a wonderful yoga, which is known as Buddha Aditya Yoga, meaning Buddha is Mercury and Aditya is Surya, which is Sun. So Mercury and Sun coming together, it itself is a very good yoga. And Mercury in its own sign, in Kendra houses, it itself creates a yoga known as a Bhadra Mahapurush Yoga, which is a kind of Raj Yoga. So this transit is extremely important and very good for everyone, especially in this turbulent periods. Now the sign of Mercury, Mercury holds two signs, right? Gemini and Virgo, right? So Gemini basically represents communication. Mercury also represents almost the same thing, but the sign of Gemini represents communication. So during this period, when Mercury is in Gemini, we'll see a lot of communication happening, journalism, a lot of communication over the social media, right? Over emails. So good communication, good sensible communication. And the sign of Mercury and Gemini both represents travel, and it's an air sign. So we can see during this time many people traveling to different places, to far off places, to foreign lands, or even short trips. People might make short trips, and because Mercury is a airy sign, basically, the airline industry, we can see, which is actually struggling a lot. We can see airline industry getting little stable, right? So let us see quickly how it is going to affect all the 12 ascendants. Now starting with Aries. So for Aries, Mercury basically holds 3rd and 6th house. So Mercury is a lot of Gemini, which is the 3rd sign, and also Virgo, which is the 6th sign, right? So the Sun and Mercury conjunction is happening in the 3rd house. Now 3rd house represents what? It represents again short distance travel, it represents communication, it represents siblings. So we can see that people will go on short trips, communication will be very good, and because Sun is also in the sign of Gemini in the 3rd house for Aries ascendant, they'll have a lot of courage, and they'll basically channelize this courage very intelligently, to utilize this time. So we can see that Aries people will act extremely intelligently, because Gemini again also represents intelligence. Now for Taurus, this is happening in the 2nd house. So now Mercury would be moving to its 2nd house, and Mercury is the lord of 2nd and 5th house, and Sun is the lord of 4th house. So this Sun and Mercury conjunction is happening in the 2nd house for Taurus ascendant. Now Sun is not so good in the 2nd house, but it is very good in the sign of Gemini. So it's like an average transit for Sun, but Mercury moving there and forming this yoga will bring in some good communication with the family members. So people will have, get-togethers, like all the family members who were not talking to each other or who were living, at distant places. We can see during this time, they'll have get-together, they'll talk to each other, and they'll again, re-establish the bonding which was lost. So again, the parents will have good connect with the children, and the children will also have, good connect with the parents. So a good time. Now for Gemini ascendant, this is happening in the first house, in your ascendant, right? So Mercury here is again creating Bhadra Mahapurush Yoga, which is an excellent yoga. Also, Sun is already present there, so it is actually creating the Buddha Aditya Yoga, which is a kingly yoga. It's a wonderful yoga, right? But this is temporary. I mean, only till the period this conjunction is there. But this period is going to be excellent for you. Gemini ascendant people were struggling with health issues. They were struggling with a lot of expenditure, and also they were finding it very difficult in communicating. So this transit will stabilize their health. It will give them a lot of courage, because Sun being the lord of third house is in, it basically conjoins Mercury, so it gives a lot of courage, and the expenses will come under control. You'll have very good time at your home, and if at all your dasha, mahadasha basically permits, so during this time you might basically purchase a new property, or you might get into renovating things at your home. So it's an excellent time for you. You have to utilize this time to best of your abilities. Now for Cancer ascendant, Gemini is the 12th sign, and Mercury will now be moving from your 11th house to the 12th house. So it's not a very good transit for you, because Mercury does not do very good in the 12th house. But yet Mercury is in its own element, in its own sign, right? Also it is in conjunction with Sun, so that is another good point. So you can see, during this time you will take some some travels. You will travel to distant places, but you will be spending a lot of money on that. Your expenditure will increase, and also you will try to go to spiritual places, and you will get into some yoga practices, or you would want to be in isolation. Now for Leo ascendant, this transit is going to be very good, because Mercury is lord of your ascendant, and Gemini is the 11th sign, which basically represents, 11th house represents house of gains from the profession, house of network circle, so many good things, house of fulfillment of your wishes. Now Mercury is moving into your 11th house, which is a very good transit, because Mercury is also lord of your second house and 11th house. So it is lord of both wealth houses, right? So, and coming into 11th house along with Sun, which is the lord of your ascendant, right? So excellent time. So during this time you will see you will go out, meet with your friends. Your network circle will be very good during this time, very strong, and you will get a lot of gains from your profession. You will get new ideas basically in business, so you will invest money into some new venture which will give you a lot of profit in the future. So it's an excellent transit. You'll also have reunion with the family. You and your family might go out to distant places and have a very good time. So excellent transit. You have to make use of this. Now for Virgo ascendant, Mercury is lord of your ascendant, right? And it is lord of your 10th house too, right? Two Kendra houses. It's lord of two Kendra houses, and Mercury is actually coming into a 10th house in its own house, where Sun is there. Sun has very good Digbala or directional strength in the 10th house. So Sun is extremely powerful there, along with Mercury, right? And it is forming again the Buddha Aditya Yoga and Bhadra Mahapurush Yoga. Excellent time, right? So during this time you will see that you might get a new opportunity in your job. because Jupiter sitting in the 6th house is now aspecting your 10th house as well, and the lot of 10th house in 10th house basically, it can give you a very good opportunity, a very I would say a very lucrative offer you might get. You might also get a chance to travel to foreign land during this period. An excellent period. You will be very passionate about your work. You will be very dynamic in your outlook. So a very good time. Just utilize this time because it's forming two very good yogas. Now for Libra ascendant, Mercury is the lord of your 9th and 12th house, and Mercury is transiting from your 8th house to your 9th house, right? So 9th house Mercury does fairly well, and Mercury is also the lord of your 12th house. So during this time, you are certainly you will be willing to travel to different places, to faraway places. Mercury would do that because Mercury is also the lord of travel. I mean, it represents travel to different places, travel to foreign land, and yes, it is going to do that, right? So you would love to travel to different places. You will visit probably foreign lands if your dasha is supporting. So an excellent transit, make use of it. Now for Scorpio ascendant, Mercury is lord of your 8th house and 11th house of gains, and Mercury is basically transiting from your 7th house to your 8th house. So the lord of 8th house transiting into 8th house. So this basically will give a good boost to your health. So if you are facing any health issues, this will kind of rectify it, or it will bring it out. Now 8th house is considered a very secretive house. It's like a huge underground tunnel, and when Mercury gets here, basically, especially Mercury and Mars, right? So when Mercury gets here, it basically likes to dig deep down, and it tries to bring out things which are hidden, right? So now people who are in this kind of profession, like people who are in research, who have to dig down into things and try to pull out the truth, or try to research on different things, it's an excellent period, for scientists who are in research, for people who are into investigating crimes, or investigating different things. It is going to be an excellent period for you, right? So just utilize this. Your health is going to be good, and because it is lord of your 11th house too, so surely it will give you a lot of gains from your profession. Now for Sagittarius ascendant, again it is lord of your 7th and 10th house. So again it is lord of two Kendra houses, and because 7th is a Kendra house, it is basically forming Bhadram Panchamahapurush Yog as well as Budh Aditya Yog, right, for you, because Sun is also lord of your 9th house, right? So Sun and Mercury are in conjunction, or will be in conjunction in your 7th house, right? So it's an excellent period for you. You will see during this time, you will have very good relationship with your spouse as well as business partners. So this is a time where you will actually sign up new business deals. You might get into a new job, or you might get a very good job opportunity, or you might basically get a promotion in your job, in your current job, or a very good project, basically. So it's going to be excellent time. You will spend good time with your spouse, and you will thoroughly enjoy this time. So again, very good time for Sagittarius ascendant. You have to make use of this, right? Now for Capricorn ascendant, Mercury is lord of your 6th and 9th house, and currently Mercury is transiting into your 6th house, right? And it is going to get into conjunction with Sun, basically in your 6th house, right? So 6th house, basically Mercury does excellent here, because Mercury is lord of communication, and 6th house basically represents legal issues. It represents obstacles, and Mercury here basically does excellent, because people who have Mercury in the 6th house, basically they make very good lawyers, because they can argue in an excellent way. So they make very good lawyers, And people who are involved in this profession of law, for them this transit is going to be an excellent one. So it's a good transit overall. So you can make use of that. Now for Aquarius ascendant, Mercury and Sun is going to conjoin in basically your fifth house, right? Fifth house is Gemini, so there it's going to conjoin. So you will see that during this period, you will get a lot of inspiration to learn new things. You will have very good relationship with your children. Your children will do excellent, in education, because Mercury also represents, intellectual capabilities. So your children will do excellent in their studies. During this period, if you are in share market and you are running a favorable dasha, so this period is going to help you a lot in gaining from speculation. So you will also get into many entertainment activities if you have inclination for that, like music, dance, learning new instruments. You will take part in all these activities. Now again, for Pisces ascendant, Mercury is lord of your fourth as well as seventh house, right? And because this conjunction is happening in your fourth house, it is forming these two yogas. Again, the Buddha Aditya Yoga and also the Bhadra Panchamahapurusha Yoga. And this is happening in your fourth house. Very good. Though in fourth house Sun loses its directional strength, but still this yoga is very good. So you can see, if you were planning to buy any new property, or you were planning to start off construction of your property, this is an excellent period. So during this period you can initiate things, and they'll go on without any issues in the future. So you will have very good relationship with your mother as well, and you will be full of enthusiasm during this period. You will also have very good relationship with your spouse, and like I said, this is a time where you would love to travel to distant places. So guys, this was my understanding of this transit of Mercury. It's a very good transit, especially in this turbulent period. So kindly try to make use of it to best of your abilities. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. See you again with my next video. Thank you.